Hello, and welcome to Outnumbered, the podcast. I'm Bonnie.
And I'm Audrey, and we're moms to a combined total of 16 kids, with 2 more on the way.
Yes, we know that sounds insane, and it usually is. But we're here to share the tips that help us keep our sanity and to share inspiring thoughts that help us get through each crazy day.
Uninterrupted conversation is foreign to us, but we'll try. And we invite you to join us on our journey as we find joy in the chaos of motherhood.
Hello, and welcome to Outnumbered, the podcast. I am Bonnie, and here with my co-host, Audrey.
Hello.
And we have a couple of things to share about motherhood. We are super excited to be starting this podcast because we are both moms of a crazy amount of children, and we have a bit of motherhood experience that we are excited to share with all of you. We are actually each both expecting our 9th child, which makes us totally and completely insane, but also really excited to share with you what we've learned through motherhood and what we hope to inspire you to be able to get out of these crazy years.
Exactly. We also each have our own blogs, and we both love to sew, and we homeschool our kids.
Which makes us doubly insane.
Yeah. And I'm sure we're going to find a whole bunch more stuff as we do this podcast together.
That's right. So one of our goals for this podcast is to help each one of you find a little bit of joy and a little bit of happiness in your journey as a mother. But we wanted to say right at the outset that the advice and ideas and tips that we share are not going to work for every mom, and they're not going to work for every kid. We know probably better than most, right? That it sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't.
Exactly. We'll be the first ones to tell you that what works for one kid does not work for the next.
So we're basically here just to share that there's lots of crazy moms dealing with their own brand of chaos all over the country, all over the world. And we're a couple of them here that just want to tell you, you can still find joy and happiness even when life seems really overwhelming.
Exactly. Even when you're outnumbered.
Exactly. Very outnumbered. 9-1. So we're just going to give you a little overview of what each podcast is going to look like, roughly, so you know what to expect. So each week we're going to start out with a little bit of some mom humor. We know that motherhood can be wildly stressful, but also really, really funny sometimes. So we want to share some of that with you guys. We're going to share either a crazy mom moment, one of those times you weren't sure you'd survive. If you ever have one of these and want to send them in to us, please do. We'd love to share. Our email address is outnumberedthepodcast@gmail.com. So feel free to send in your insane mom moments to us. We'd love to share them.
Yes.
We also like to talk sometimes about the things that we never thought we'd say as crazy frazzled moms. And sometimes these can be really, really funny.
Oh, Bonnie and I have a whole library of things we never thought we'd say.
And I'm really excited to share them with you here because sometimes they come out of my mouth and I think, did anybody just hear that? Was I the only one that just heard that?
I hope not.
And my kids don't appreciate them like I do. So actually, that will segue us into an insane mom moment we'd like to share with you each today. Each of us have a fun audience on Instagram that we like to share with. And one of our Instagram followers, Crystal from Instagram, sent in this crazy mom moment. You guys are going to love this one. She says, the one crazy mom moment that sticks out to me is from when my now 16-year-old was 6. He was obsessed with Transformers. It was right before Christmas, and we were in Utah, so it was snowy and super cold. We went to Target, and he mentioned one he wanted, so I told him he needed to write it down for his Christmas list. We carried on with our errands and went home. At about midnight, I woke up to what I thought was the sound of my front door opening. I got up and went to check it out and found it unlocked. I peeked outside. We were living on the 2nd floor of an apartment building and didn't see anything, so I locked it and went back inside, but decided to check on my boys before I checked out the rest of the apartment. I saw my 3-year-old sleeping soundly, but my 6-year-old was missing. I looked everywhere. I was so freaked out, I called 911 and panicked. While I was still on the phone with 911, a report came in that said they found my son. He had decided to take his piggy bank, a Target sack, and his coat to Target. He had made it through a fence and into a business parking lot before the police had found him.
Oh, no.
All he had to say for himself was that Christmas was too far away. He is still pretty self-sufficient and stubborn. That experience still gives me nightmares. Oh my gosh, Crystal.
Oh my word.
My heart goes out to you, but I'm glad you can laugh about it now, right? Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Kids try to kill us sometimes. That's hilarious. So after we give you a little bit of mom humor on each podcast, then we will talk about some aspect of motherhood or raising children that we are passionate about. So sometimes we'll talk about improving ourselves as moms, how to find time for ourselves, or managing the chaos and troubleshooting kid problems and household management. Everything from making time to our own hobbies to teaching potty training and chores. You name it, we will talk about it. And then finally, at the end of each podcast, we will wrap up with a recommendation of something that has helped us improve as moms. So this could be anything from a great book, a mom product, a blog or article, or a life hack that has really helped us live the chaos a little bit smoother. So I am going to go ahead and turn the time over to Audrey. She's going to give a little intro of herself so you can get to know her better. Take it away.
Okay, very good. My name is Audrey, and I blog at Skirt Fixation, all about sewing and about skirts and about fun stuff like that. I also get to lead the fun online children's sewing event called Project Run and Play. I have, as Bonnie said, almost 9 kids. I'm currently in my 3rd trimester of my 9th child. And so our oldest is 20. She is studying business management in college. And our next son, number 2, he is a big giant of a boy. He's 6'9" and 18 years old. And he is also in college studying civil engineering. Number 3 is a girl. She's 16, just got her learner's permit, and is adding gray hairs to my head every day.
Love it.
Number 4 is a 13-year-old boy, and he is very go-getter. He loves anything to do with horses. He's obsessed with horses. And no, we don't have any horses, even though we live on a hobby farm in the Midwest and have a bunch of animals. Oh, hang on. Let's get back to the kids. Number 5 is a girl. She's 10 years old, sweet as all get out, and very good at managing, helping around the house with her siblings. Let's see, where am I? Number 6 is a boy. So if you've been keeping track, we've gone girl, boy, girl, and now we have boy. Yeah, we're just talented like that.
Good job.
Yeah. And so number 6 is a boy. He's 7 years old. He is rambunctious and all boy, 100%. His personality is so cute. If we have one kid that'll be president someday, this is a kid probably, because he is like the CEO of everything.
Love it.
Then we got off on our pattern. Number 7 is another boy. So we went boy, boy. And these 2 boys in a row are so fun. Everybody thinks they're twins. They're close to the same size, but they're, personality-wise, they are about as different as you can get. This 4-year-old, number 7, he's shy and he's quiet and he just loves to snuggle his mom. And every night he sneaks into bed and sleeps with us. It's so sweet.
Oh, cute.
Number 8 is a little girl, and she is 1.5, and she's the most spoiled child in the entire world because she has so many older brothers and sisters. And anytime I try to teach her something or discipline or tell her no, something, they say, "Oh, mommy, she didn't mean it." And they grab her and snuggle her.
Oh, that's cute. Lucky girl.
I know. The rest is history. Mm-hmm. And now number 9 is due to be born actually almost on her birthday. Very close. So we'll see. We'll see where this leads. And we don't know if number 9 is a boy or a girl.
Okay. It's probably one or the other though, right?
I hope so.
So exciting.
Like I mentioned, we live in the Midwest. We live on a hobby farm. We have chickens for eggs, rabbits for meat, goats for milk, a dog for keeping everything away, cats for the mice. And we have also had other various and sundry menagerie of animals in the past. And we are probably going to be getting a dairy cow.
Oh,
here.
Cool.
I know. So excited. We homeschool, and we have a garden, big gardens. We have a greenhouse so that even though we don't live in Arizona like Bonnie, we can eat fresh produce all winter long.
Smart.
I love to sew. It's my creative outlet, and cooking also is not only a necessity, but something I really like to
Gonna
do.
say, it better be something you like, I bet you do a lot of it.
Sure do. A couple fun facts about me. I'm 6 feet tall. That's probably where my son gets his height from. I have a brother actually that's 6'9" also.
How tall is your husband?
So he's 6'1".
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all gonna be
Yeah.
tall no matter what.
They are. There are no shorties in this family.
No, no.
Yeah. I sew my own wardrobe because I am 6 feet tall, but also because I just really enjoy it. And let's see, last fun fact, I studied elementary education in college, which is serving me very well now.
Yes, you're smart. I should have done the same.
Okay, my favorite part of motherhood is I always wanted a big family, but I never imagined how amazing the dynamics of a big family would be. It is so seriously amazing to watch my children develop their own personalities into their own people, like independent of me. One of my kids has a personality that's a lot like my mother-in-law, and it's
Oh,
so
interesting.
amazing to see just watching them grow and into their own unique people, affected by each other, definitely. I mean, the baby, she's spoiled rotten, like she wouldn't be if she was an only child.
For
But
sure.
yeah, I just love it. That's my favorite part, is watching these babies grow into humans and really neat people that I want to be friends with.
That's really cool. How about your least favorite part?
Pregnancy.
I feel ya.
Maybe that's because I'm, third trimester here, but yeah. No, seriously, probably doubting myself, like if what I'm doing is the right thing, and just questioning how big of an impact am I having on these kids, and is it the right kind of impact? That's
Yeah.
like my least favorite part.
Oh, I think that's something we all struggle with. Ugh, so hard.
Tell me more about you, Bonnie.
Okay, well, my name is Bonnie, and I blog at bonnieandblythe.com. My blog is all about inspiring moms to find joy in the chaos. I also sew and blog a little bit about that. But I like to share style tips, motherhood tips, things that make other moms feel like they're not alone, hopefully. We also have 8.4 children. Trying to make sure my decibels right. Point 0.5, I think. 0.5.
Yeah.
So our kids are, the two oldest are boys, 13 and 11. And also very, very different personalities. It's funny to see them interact. And then we have 3 girls in a row, a 9-year-old and 7-year-old twins. And the twins also, they're fraternal, but as different can be. And I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they're sure funny
Oh.
to play off each other. And then, so number 6 is a boy. He's kind of standalone boy, and a bunch of girls. He's a hoot as well. And then we have 2 girls, ages 3 and 1.5 as well. And then the baby that's coming, so due in April. Also very, very close to my 7th baby's birthday, but that's just how we do it. I get birthdays stacked on top of each other all over the place. I can't plan to save my life, but they come when they come, and we'll take them.
Exactly.
So we live in Arizona, and we also just this year moved into a new house with a little bit of property. We're on a 3/4 acre and are looking forward to have kind of a bit of a mini farm, kind of like Audrey. Right now we just have 5 cats. I don't know how we ended up with 5 cats. 2 live outside and kind of came with the house, so that wasn't really my fault. But then we went ahead and adopted 3 on our own, so that was my fault. Anyway.
Oh, well, you won't have any mice, that's for sure.
Right. I don't know that there are any. Actually, we did find one. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. But we'd also like to have some chickens and maybe a goat. I think that could be really fun.
Oh, get
And
a
I love.
dairy goat. They're so awesome.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be great. And I love teaching kids how to take care of animals because they love to play with them, but they need to learn to work for them too. So
Yeah.
our home life sounds fairly similar to yours, only fewer animals. We homeschool as well, and we have since the beginning. And we love it, even though, it's chaotic. And I often wonder what the heck I'm doing if my kids are ever going to learn math too. So a couple fun facts about me. I have lived in 4 different countries and speak 3 languages, or I used to. I'm out of practice.
Oh, what languages?
Spanish and Russian, along with English. I'm fairly
Cool.
fluent in Pig Latin too. I'm pretty proud of that. But
Do your kids speak it though?
no, they don't. We're teaching them Spanish, but I'm not as good at it as I should be. I lived
So
in
you and your husband speak Pig Latin
Oh, yeah.
whenever you
Oh,
wanna.
yeah. Yeah. No, whatever. I actually, grew up quite a few years living in Mexico with my dad's job on foreign assignment, and then I went to Russia as a missionary, as an adult, and so I love to travel and live weird places. I also love to run when I'm not very largely pregnant, to sew, like I said before, and, I just really love talking about motherhood, so that's why we're here. My favorite
Good.
part about being a mom, I actually wish I could steal yours. The part about, watching kids interact and become their own humans, because I really like that.
Oh, yeah, you can steal it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm stealing that.
it's
So
awesome.
I like Audrey's, and I also really, really enjoy just seeing my kids reach specific milestones. So, when they learn to read, when they learn to walk, I just think that watching kids grow up is one of the most rewarding things ever. If you can stop yourself from crying the first time your kid takes a step or learns to
Yeah.
drive a car or whatever. But I think it's so rewarding and so fun to watch. My least favorite part, at least for me at this stage in life, is probably the noise or the nonstop needs from me.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody always needs me, and it's so flippin' loud all the time. So
All the time.
it makes it hard for me to remember that I'm someone other than mom, 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 mom. Like I'm a human being. Leave me alone for 5 minutes. So that is a struggle, but the pros definitely outweigh the neediness. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
So, today, as a little bit of an intro to us and our particular brand of motherhood, we are going to be answering a few funny and serious questions that we are often asked about our families. As you can probably tell, it's a little unusual to have 9 children, and a quick little funny story about that is that Audrey and I will be speaking at a blog conference together, and we emailed each other trying to set some things up and figure out what we were talking about. And she said, just FYI, I want you to know that I'm expecting my 9th child now, so I'll have a new baby there. I hope you're going to be okay with that. And then she said, I keep waiting for your announcement about your 9th. And then I just laughed and laughed because, of course, I was already pregnant. So I emailed her back and said, surprise, we're both crazy. So
I just didn't know if I could do 9 kids without you doing 9 kids.
well, here I am. I'll stick with you to the end. So
All right.
it is pretty funny what all the things we have in common, and especially the passion for finding joy in this crazy journey. So we get some funny questions when we're out and about and when people find out how many children we have. Usually, I don't know if this happens to you, Audrey, but usually when people find out, there's a bit of a shock and awe period. There's like this,
Yes.
oh, jaw
Yeah.
drops, eyes open,
Yeah.
and they go,
And
whoa, 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 what?
the most common response I get is, "I could never do that."
Yeah, yeah. Oh, trust
And
me,
then
I don't think I can either.
oh, I've been so tempted sometimes to say, "I know you couldn't, but that's so snotty."
Seriously, Audrey. Rude.
I know.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so here's a good one that I've heard multiple times that I'm going to ask you and see how you would respond to it. Okay, you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Audrey, you must have your hands full. How do you manage?
What's funny about that is usually I'm out alone, and so I'll hold because my kids, as I told you in the spacing of my kids, they're pretty spread out, and so I'm usually out alone, and they find out I have 9 kids, and they say that to me, and I usually hold up both my hands like my hands are empty right now, actually. And then I try to, I mean, like if I think they're seriously asking, I try to explain how awesome it is to have. Okay, yes, I'm expecting my 9th child, but I have 2 teenage daughters, like 2 live-in nannies.
Yeah, yeah. Lucky. Can I have one?
No,
No,
I need them.
I do think it's a serious question that a lot of people have, but luckily for most people, kids come one at a time, except for just that dang set of twins. But we'll talk
Oh,
about that another time.
okay.
And you just kind of ease into it one at a time, and just find yourself all of a sudden here you are, kind of crazy.
Yeah. Okay, here's a good one that I'm sure you get asked all the time. We do. Are you done having kids?
Audrey, that's none of your business. I'm just kidding. I seriously do want to say that sometimes. Like,
Oh, me
that's
too.
kind of personal, right? But
Right.
actually, the answer is probably no. I can't believe that. My husband and I both really felt drawn to having a big family when we were first dating and married and talking about that sort of thing. So we knew we were on the same page. We just never talked about a number. And I just feel really strongly that we'll know when we've reached that number. And I don't know, maybe this kid will come out and I'll go, yes, we're done. But I've just felt really strongly that there's always another one waiting. So there you have it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. The way it is for me is when I'm pregnant, it's always my last child.
Oh, I feel you there. Yeah. Oh, the
But when
worst.
they're sweet and tiny, oh, well, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
I could do this
Yeah.
again.
The worst is when people come to visit you right after having a baby. Like the baby is hours or days old and they're like, "Oh, so are you done?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I am never doing that again."
Right. When you still have after pains
Oh
and your
yeah.
milk is coming
Oh
in.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you're about as miserable as possible. But then give me 3
Yeah.
weeks later and I'm like, "Oh, look at that cute thing. I do it all over again."
The knuckle dimples get me every time.
Oh, they are so cute. Seriously, so cute. Okay, so next one for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Do you ever just want to quit or give up on this motherhood gig?
Yeah, as soon as I find somebody to take my place, I'm out of here.
I think honestly, that's what keeps a lot of us here is like, well, who's going to feed these children if I just walk out?
Yeah. I'm the only one who knows what so and so, likes. So,
Exactly. Well, someone will make their grilled cheese the wrong way and,
yeah,
the world will
it'll
end.
be over.
It'll be all
Yeah.
over. Yeah. No, I do think that's a kind of a serious question though, and we're going to address that in one of our future podcasts that sometimes you just want to give up, but there are ways around that and ways of getting through those psychotic crazy days when you just think you can't do one more day of this.
Yeah, because there are days like that and you have to keep going. So how do you
Yeah.
cope?
Yep, agreed.
Okay, here's one. How do you do it all?
I hate this one. I hate it. People ask me this all the time, and I want to be like, I don't do it all. Are you insane? By the way, what is all? Like, do I do
Yeah.
laundry and make food? Sometimes, not usually on the same day.
Kids, today you get food or you get clean
you
clothes.
you
Which do you
choose
want?
exactly. No, I do think that people are kind of tongue in cheek, but also serious and wondering. Like, I have a hard time with my 2 kids. How do you manage 9? But it's really everybody's struggles are unique to them. And when I had 2 kids, I thought there's no way I can handle another one either. And you just kind of adapt and you really learn what's important and what's not. There are a lot of things that really were important. And I spent a lot of time on when I was a young mom of just a couple of kids. And I just don't do those things anymore. A lot of them because you just have to choose what's worth your time and what's not. So,
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to have a future podcast about time management and how you do find time to do more because everybody has the same amount of time in a day. So,
right.
how we manage what we fit into our 24 hours.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, another one for you, Audrey. Do you ever forget your children's names?
Seriously, yes.
You're a horrible mother.
I'm seriously considering giving them numbers. It would be easier, right?
That is probably very wise. Very wise indeed.
Oh, you know what it is. I open the door and I'm like, and I go through 4 different names
Yep.
before I come up with the right one.
The last time one of my kids got mad at me for that. Why do you always call me his name? I said, have you ever called me dad? No. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. And you only have 2 parents' names to remember. I got 8. So give me a little break here,
Oh, yeah. Here's another question that's also kind of offensive and personal, but we get asked a lot. How do you afford all those kids?
Oh, that is a good question. Well, in all honesty, we've been really blessed financially to not have to struggle too bad. But again, it's kind of like the time thing. You really have to pick and choose what's important. When we had 2 kids, we could eat out every week, multiple times a week. It didn't really affect us very much because eating out was like $17. And now when I take my family out to eat at the cheapest place imaginable, it's $60. And I'm like, okay, we can do that once a quarter.
When my husband and I go out for a date, we're always like, he'll pass me the receipt and he'll be like, look at that total. And we'll just both bust up laughing because it's, less than $30. And we both ordered an appetizer and a dessert.
I know. The only time my kids ever get good food is if I bring home leftovers and they're just dying. Did you bring home sushi? I'm like, what? No, you can't have sushi. You're a child. You can't appreciate good food. And there's too many of you to feed you all sushi. Sorry. No, but yeah, I think it's, again, just prioritizing, deciding, well, everybody can have shoes or or food. No, not really. But, like I had dreams of having my kids in all the musical, learning all the musical instruments and all the sports and all the dance classes. And it's just not realistic time-wise or monetarily. So we just pick and choose.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to do an episode on kids and money, but also like moms and money, how managing, how we spend our time. And really, I think okay, so you can put your kid on a team sport, or in our families, they can stay home and interact, go play kickball in the yard and kind of get the same benefits.
Yeah, agreed. There are so many awesome benefits to having a bunch of kids around that make it so that you really don't have to do as many of the things as if you only had one or two. So that is the bonus and kind of the trade-off for having to pay so much to keep them alive, is that they do have built-in playmates and they have a built-in soccer team, and it's never boring and it's also never quiet. Did I mention that? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Never quiet.
So that is a little bit of an overview of Bonnie and Audrey, who we are, what we're doing here, and what we have to offer each of you. And I really hope that you tune in next time to the Outnumbered podcast and learn a little bit more about finding joy in the chaos of motherhood.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for listening to Outnumbered the podcast. You can contact us at outnumberedthepodcast@gmail.com and find us on Instagram at Outnumbered the podcast.
We're so grateful for our listeners and would love it if you take the time to leave us an honest review on iTunes, Stitcher, or any other podcast platform. And don't forget to share the podcast with your mom friends.
Can't wait to talk next time.
Bye.